Welcome to Stories, Soul Work, and Substack. I'm John Ronaldo, joined by my co-host, Kaz in the World. Each episode we share real stories, honest conversations that connect us through creativity and truth. Before we begin, please remember our discussions are based on personal experiences and not a substitute for professional advice. Now let's dive in. Hello.
Hello.
Oh, do you hear me? The mic was
I hear you.
okay. Good.
I hear you.
Good.
You obviously have an omnidirectional mic. So that's cool.
So,
Happy
yeah,
holidays.
good news. It actually works for him. He's
Happy
actually on.
holidays.
His
Yeah.
Substack works, so it's live over there. That's awesome. Anyways, long time no talk.
I know you've been a busy guy. And I want to let everybody know we did not plan the hats. Just we took it upon ourselves because we're both just like that. So
What's Christmas time?
it's
So,
the holidays.
yeah.
Happy holidays. Yes, indeed it is.
So, we had a podcast Saturday with Sue.
Yes, we did with Sue Reed. Confidence Matters. Was lovely.
A lot was discussed there, which is good.
Oh my gosh. Yes, we did. If you didn't see it, I always put a couple of clips on, but if you are so inclined, please go and take a look at it. Yeah, there was some shocking stuff and there was some funny stuff and some more shocking stuff and some information and some revelations. So yeah, it was good. It was good. And then come next Monday, a week from today, the 15th, is Tracy Edwards. Let's get unstuck. So I'm looking forward to that. And then our swan song for the year, just for the year, for 2 weeks, because we're taking a little hiatus, is the 22nd. We'll do a holiday show and talk about all things holidays because we have stuff that crosses in holidays and different holiday traditions. So,
Well, I think what people don't really realize that there's a lot to do in production of shows like this. Plus,
Mhm.
we're doing podcasts. Plus, we're writing. Plus, we're writing books. Plus, we are collaborating with other
Editing
people.
clips.
And then
Yep.
we got family, and we all have jobs, so we're all working as well. So this is, I like to call this is my wishful life, where I wish I
And
could do
we're
it.
happy for sponsors to come
Yeah,
and
yeah. Well,
flunk it down so we can get other. Poor John is the tech guru who does make sure all of this happens, and I say, oh, lighting, sound, script, da 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 da. But if I had to do all the tech too, forget it. Just forget
so
it.
and this is good. So we're all having a good. This is good. So this
A
is
good experience. It's a good
good
experience for me.
experience.
Is it a
This
good
kind of
experience
gives,
for you?
yeah. So we're gonna.
Good.
So the next 2 weeks, we're gonna probably redefine our show a little bit, probably tune it
Mm-hmm.
up a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
and we are gonna work towards probably our get. We have to book guests for next year too, so there's some work on that.
Already
Uh,
got a couple lined up that to just get them booked and
yeah,
then well you're going to need to talk about your upcoming other podcast. Is it duo or solo or get or multiple guests or haven't really decided yet? And
that's
what's it
actually good.
called?
Oh, geez.
I put you on the spot again. I
Yeah,
did it on
like
Saturday.
always.
I've done it
Uh,
again. I'm
it's
so
about
sorry.
co-parenting, divorce, and geez, you got me in a position where I can't remember things anymore. But the idea is where it's coming from the perspective of fathers who, and I've uncovered, like I'm reaching out to people who are like fathers because that's obviously a topic that's not really discussed, where fathers have been kind of like alienated from their children, trying to make sense of the divorce. 1 minute you're a good
Mm,
guy and everything's going well before the marriage, So the
Yeah.
marriage, you're doing well, and then afterwards the marriage comes. Guess what? You're an a-hole. You're dirt. You're you're everything, even though you've done everything you can, like coach and all that kind of stuff. And now
Oh,
this
it's
one.
marriage
So
is not easy at any age. It's just not
so what
easy.
we want to do is bring light to that, and that's we're talking to. So I'm bringing guys on to have those conversations, give a platform, and start having those conversations. I think that's what we're going to be doing. So
That's
that the first.
awesome.
So
And
that's
you, I mean, you're so in that. You are so in that world, and you've been dealing with that world for a while. So it sounds like a perfect idea, an absolute perfect idea. So
well,
stay
it's
tuned, everyone.
yeah. So I'm working on that, and I don't know what we're going to do. I think I'm bringing out different guests on here and things like that. So it's a matter of deciding how it's going to turn out. So I'm
Cool.
excited about that. And I
Yeah.
think I popped it up. It's called Divorce, Co-Parenting, and the Hard Truths.
Oh,
And
that's
these are,
right. You said it last
yeah,
Saturday. That's a great title. Yeah, good
yeah.
for you.
And sometimes you see me post it's a single shot, and I do like a 3 minute or
Mhm.
1 minute
Mhm.
take,
Mhm.
just a rough thing.
Mhm.
And I usually pop it onto YouTube um, and TikTok, and when I put it on here, it's really just the objective really is to educate people. There's a different way of doing things. You don't have to go and do the extreme. You don't need to be nasty to each other. You can. It's about the children at the end of the day.
Yep.
So that's that.
Yeah. And then
What's
I'm
it?
doing one starting
Oh,
in the
sorry.
new year.
Oh,
That's
good.
okay. Yeah, yeah. Well, someone dubbed me after learning about my entire experience, all of my experiences and the industries I've been in and my expertise, and said, "You're like the Take the Leap gal." And so it's going to be the Take the Leap podcast. And it's all about, pursuing your goals and your dreams and your passions, of course. But even when it's hard, when it's messy, when it's frustrating, when it's difficult, just do it. I wouldn't have a third of the experience, life experience, and career experience I have if I hadn't just said, I'm quaking in my boots, but the hell with it. I'm going for it. And the threads in the industries, I would get jobs within the same industry, but maybe different types.
Yeah.
But I've realized that being a guide, a mentor, is really, really important to me. And there are so many people who have so many dreams and talents inside, and they're just worried and concerned that it's not going to work. Well, guess what? Sometimes it ain't going to work. Sometimes the failure is going to inform you more than the success. I mean, things that did not go extremely well for me, or maybe I'm like, why am I in this position? And later on it revealed itself, oh, this has come in really handy, or that failure informed this to make it a success. So yeah, I'm going to be yammering on myself, and not about myself, but about what people are doing out in the world to pursue taking the leap. And then I'm going to have guests on, really close friends and other people who have interesting stories, and not always stories that are making headlines. Some of them are definitely underserved stories that really need to have more of a platform. So, yeah, yay for us.
Yeah. That's awesome. Congrats.
Thanks. Thank you.
Um, yeah. So we've got a busy week for both of us. And
Hmm.
obviously, it means movie times for the family. I
Yes.
hopefully that we can talk about that now. And our friend 100
Or our guest is completely wasted.
So, well, shall we bring him in?
Yes, of course.
Okay.
Da 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 da.
And he wears a
Ah,
Santa hat. That's awesome.
tomato is
See you
Santa
back there.
Tomato. I love it. Oh, you're so great. 100, hundo.
Great to be back, everybody. Though I was under the impression we were talking about accounting today, so I gotta
Oh, dang
improvise
it.
my notes out the window. So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't have much to say myself. I still count on my fingers. So, welcome,
So
welcome,
welcome back.
welcome.
So that we've, as everybody knows, you're 100 Tomatoes, and you're the movie guy, and you're the guy that
The
tells.
movie guy.
You're the movie guy on Substack, and we brought you on a couple times. And this time, last time we brought you on was about new movies coming up in the season for the holidays. But now let's talk. We want to talk about what is the classical musics of, or music, not movies of this year. So, and which ones you recommend that we should watch? Obviously, we've probably seen it like 50,000 times, but which ones do you think? And we're going to argue about those.
Yeah, that's perfect.
And
You're going to argue. I'm not arguing with anybody. I'm just happy to be here.
so I did posted the top 12, I think it was.
I love
Movies.
that. That was really good.
So,
Oh, there may be one we'll fight over. There may be one where we will not be in agreement about. We'll see.
yeah.
Stay tuned.
So, anyways, 100 Tomatoes. Welcome.
Yeah, it's great to be here, and any day I get to talk about movies is a great day. So it's awesome to be with you both, and I'm sure there will be a ton of spirited discussion over a lot of the great holiday and Christmas movies that have come out over the years. For me, I don't know about you all, but I'm sure you all have kind of your favorites or your go-tos that you revisit every year. For me, it's been interesting because my Christmas movie diet has changed a little bit, especially over the course of the past 2 years. Two of the newest additions, and then I'm happy to delve into the classics, but two of the newest additions that to me are really worth looking into and trying to add potentially to your Christmas list for watching. The first one is an animated film that came out back in 2019. It's called Klaus. It was nominated for the Academy Award for Best Animated Feature. And it's a new fresh take on kind of the origin story of Santa Claus. And it's extremely creative. It has a great score, some awesome character development. And basically the whole premise or the whole theme behind it is that a true selfless act always sparks another. And so it's a nice, refreshing take on the Christmas spirit and a great refreshing take on the origin story of Santa that we typically don't get to see. I find with Santa, he's just kind of there, and we don't really know why he became Santa or what his deal with his wife is or whatever it is. And so this is definitely one I highly recommend and go back to visit every year. And another one that we can debate whether this is a Christmas movie or not, but one of the ones I started adding to my list recently as of last year is a movie called The Holdovers. It's starring Paul Giamatti and a few others. It takes place during Christmas time, and it's hard to explain the premise of the movie, but it takes place in a boarding school, and there's a great kind of coming of age thing with a bitter professor there and one of the students. And so those are two new movies that I've kind of added to my rotation recently. But let's get into the classics. One of the ones that I can probably quote from start to finish is Elf. I don't know what the take is on Elf. For everybody here, are we big Elf fans, or is that one you don't quite understand?
Big Elf for me. Big Elf for me. Yep. I think it's one of Will Ferrell's best films. Absolutely, hands down. I don't care what anybody else says. I think it's one of his best.
So there's a TikTok trend where either the husband or wife, I think mostly the wife, would go to their husband and talk about the story and talk about the whole Elf story, but make it like, that they were the library or they met him somewhere and he divulged his whole life story and talks about all these little things and how he was looking for his father and all this stuff, and and it's a TikTok trend, and most guys are not they're just trying to see if the women are trying to see if they pay attention to the story.
I need to check this out.
So it's kind of funny. yeah, that's kind of cute, but yeah, that's what's happening. So that thing has moved on its own life big time. And another thing I learned about Elf was Will Ferrell was supposed to do a second Elf, but he refused because he didn't like the director.
That's
Oh,
right.
and I wonder who that was supposed to be.
Yeah, so I can give a little context here. He was offered $28 million to do Elf 2. He turned it down because him and Jon Favreau did
That's
not
it.
see eye to eye on the creative process.
Really?
Yeah. So the director wanted more of a wholesome movie versus a slap, Will Ferrell type stuff. But yeah, it was contentious, big time. And
And
guess who was
Favreau was in the first one and directed the first one, didn't he?
Yeah. Mhm.
So, yeah. Well,
And who was the father? He was a mediator between both of them.
James Caan, I believe.
James
That's it.
Caan.
Yep, that's right. Yeah.
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 It's interesting to me because as time goes along, I don't know if I necessarily fully relate to him, but I find I relate to him a little bit more and more as the years go by. His character, Walter Hobbs, is the CEO of the book company. The one thing, especially in the part where Buddy the Elf is moving in and he basically redecorates the entire house. And as someone who just went through a whole situation with a tenant recently that was, one of those crazy tenants. And
Oh, boy.
when he's trying to kick Buddy out, I'm like, I can kind of relate to this.
Been there, done that.
I don't know if I
Yeah.
would like living with Buddy, to be honest with you. I love the movie and I love Buddy, but I love it from afar. I feel like the day-to-day would have been crazy.
Oh my
So-
gosh, that whole scene where he takes the Pop-Tarts and the spaghetti
Oh
and
no.
the
no.
jelly beans and maple
No.
syrup. It's when the maple syrup, that I just want to, and then putting in the Ziploc bags for James Caan and Mary Steenburgen in the spaghetti, and then covering it with maple syrup and handing here. They're like, yeah, okay, thanks. Oh my gosh, that's so dang funny.
Yeah. So what's your other? So Elf is number one on your list. You're saying?
Yeah,
Or
so I
high
would
up there.
say in terms of like the ones that everyone knows about, I'd put probably Klaus as my number one. I'd probably put
Wow.
Elf as my number two. I'm trying to think of some of the other ones that I'd put on my list, but and would love to hear yours as well, your alls as well. I think number three, one of the ones that I've always gone back to is the classic, I believe it's from the 1960s, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Oh yeah.
So I like to revisit that one every year with the family. So I'd probably put that at number three. For number four, one of the ones that we always revisit every year is Home Alone. So I'd probably put that one there. And
Yeah.
then rounding out the list at number five, there's a lot of different ones that jump to mind for me. But in this case, I'll have to think about number five a little bit more. But the fifth one at first glance and at first outset, I would have to go Miracle on 34th Street.
The classic. Yeah. Yep.
I couldn't get into that one.
Instead of It's a Wonderful Life.
I prefer Wonderful Life over Miracle 34.
The classic one with Natalie Wood, the really, really classic one with Natalie Wood, or
Oh,
she's
The
a
Wonderful
child?
Life with
No, Miracle on 34th Street.
No,
the
I
original
couldn't
one.
I could never get it into that one. I don't know why.
Yeah, no, I
The
was
mi-
asking 100 if it's the classic one with
Yeah.
Natalie Wood. Okay.
Yes, yes, the classic, the one in black and white, not the one that was remade in color.
Colorated. Yes. So what about It's a Wonderful Life? Do you love it or just like it? But what about
It's a great question. For whatever reason, I think this is the first time in the months of knowing John that I think we may have to respectfully agree to disagree, because for some reason I love Miracle on 34th Street, but I could just never get into It's a Wonderful Life. And I understand the last scene is really powerful, but just for whatever reason, my parents loved it, and so they tried to introduce it to us. And whenever we'd watch it, my sister and I would I guess we just didn't have the attention span for it, so it just kind of went went over our heads a little bit. I wonder if I revisit it now as an adult, whether I would enjoy it a lot more and appreciate it a lot more. But I do remember growing up, my parents would always go, "It's time to watch It's a Wonderful Life." And my sister and I would go hide somewhere so we didn't have to.
Do you know the story behind that movie?
Let's hear it.
So it bombed in the box office,
Mm.
literally bombed. And it sat on the shelves for years. And then I think NBC is Paramount. Is that right? I'm not sure. I can't remember which one.
Mm.
But whoever was the studio that owned it actually went ahead and released it.
Re-released it?
Released it to the TVs, and they were just filling time slots on TV. So during Christmas, they were just filling up slots. So that's how that came back to life. And then after all those reruns and all those times, those filling those spots, that's how that movie became popular again, or it became popular. So originally, out of its origin, it failed the box office. And then years later, when it was all these reruns over and over again, people fell in love with it.
It's amazing how that works sometimes. There's certain films that really stand that test of time and bring people in over as it goes along, and then others where it's really, really popular in the moment, and then you completely forget about it within months of its release.
Right. So you don't even put that on your list then?
Not at the moment, but maybe what I need to do this holiday season is revisit it, and then maybe it'll find a way into my top 10 or top 5.
Okay. So what's number 6 then?
Number 6. At that point, I'm going to add in The Holdovers at this point.
Yes, it's such a great film, Paul Giamatti. Oh my gosh, he is the greatest curmudgeon ever with a heart. Oh my gosh, I just love that film so much.
The Holdovers.
Holdovers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They hold over, the students hold over at the school for the Christmas holiday with this grouchy, grumpy teacher.
Gotcha.
So I'm going to go with that as number 6. Number 7, in this case, I have to go with the cartoon How the Grinch Stole Christmas with Boris Karloff. That is one that I revisit on a very regular basis. So
not even the Jim Carrey one.
No, not the Jim Carrey one. I have to go with the cartoon one with Boris Karloff. That one has been one that has stuck with me over the years, and as a result, that's one that I revisit regularly. The Jim Carrey one, it's been quite a few years since I've revisited that one, but open to discussion on that. Curious what you all think of that compared to the Jim Carrey one. And then there was one 7 years ago that came out 7 years ago that I never watched, but it was more of an animated Grinch as well. So curious what everyone's take is, if there's a preference for either one of those 3.
I love the original animated one. The Jim Carrey one, I mean, it was so outrageous, and he's so committed. That's what he does with his characters. Like when he played Andy Kaufman, he just, was so in character all the time. But it is, when I first watched it, so hilarious, and it's become a staple for Universal. But multiple watchings, it kind of wears thin for me. Maybe it has been a while since I've watched it, so maybe it's time to revisit it. Johnny Boy?
Well, The Grinch reminds me of The Mask, all those type of animations. So it's just a continuation of his character that are just an ego, like more like very, I don't know. I'm not a big Jim Carrey fan. Yeah. I'm not. I think it's a shtick. He's funny, and he makes you laugh, but it's just a repeat on every single movie. If you think about it, every movie.
Maybe that's why he went into drama, like Spotless Mind and the Andy Kaufman, that he decided that, I don't know, the comedy was him having to wear a mask all the time.
Even Andy Kaufman was a little bit of a shtick.
Well, Andy Kaufman himself was a total shtick. I
Yeah.
listened to a podcast by with his former wife, and she had a e-ticket ride. That's for dang sure.
Mm.
Yep.
It's one of those things as well that I find fascinating about Jim Carrey is he's a good example of how humor evolves over time. Because when you heard about the
Mm.
best comedians in the 90s and the 2000s, Jim Carrey immediately comes to mind for a lot of people. And he jumps out as someone who's at the forefront of just being a funny individual. But flash forward to current generations, when you show them Jim Carrey stuff, a lot of them don't get it. And so it just goes to show that over time, humor just can change with people's tastes. And he's a very good example of that, because I've shown some Jim Carrey stuff to different individuals of different demographics. And generally speaking, it's fascinating. A lot of younger individuals I've talked to don't seem to quite understand it.
They do like the Grinch, though. They think the Grinch is cool.
That's
but-
true.
Well, Mad
Yeah, I
TV
mean-
is where he made his fame.
He started with what was that series?
Oh no, Living
Oh.
Colors. Living
Living
Colors.
Color.
That's what I
That's
mean.
it. Yeah, Living Color.
But in Living Color, he was a lot of his stuff was funny, but then he made a couple of movies which were successful, obviously, because of his character off of Living Color. But then he just, I don't know. I think 100 is right. That humor has a limit, and then there's not much after that. Either you like, how many comedians can outlast that type of? I mean, the only one I can think of is Robin Williams, who was able
And
to.
he went into drama.
And
He's
he went
played
into drama.
murderers and psychopath. He played murderers and psychopaths and all
And his
sorts
character
of
never,
stuff.
and his character changed. When you look at
Mhm.
Jim Carrey, almost every single movie is similar.
Going through my data banks here.
Was it Over the Moon or Moonlight? What was that one? Same thing.
Yeah, well, you had the Ace Ventura.
Man in the Moon. Man in the Moon was his one
Oh.
about Andy Kaufman.
Yeah. Ventura is the other one. Yep.
Ace Ventura.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, Ace Ventura, The Mask, and then he was
Mhm.
also Count Olaf in Lemony Snicket's A Series of Unfortunate Events.
Right.
Kind of the big ones that stick out to me when it comes to Jim Carrey. And to that point, John, it is a very, very similar character amongst the three of those.
Yeah, you're right.
It's
Well, do you have all the way to number 10 or
number 8.
Number 8.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I can list off a few more that come to mind. So number 8 is one that maybe you've heard about, maybe you haven't. Not a lot of people have, but it's called All of the Other Reindeer. It came out in 1999. It was made by the creator of The Simpsons, Matt Groening,
Mm-mm.
and it has Drew Barrymore and a few others. And it's just kind of an animated musical thing about a dog who thinks she's a reindeer. And for whatever reason, that one's just stuck with me. It's cleverly written, it's quippy, it's got some great musical numbers, and just a unique animation style. So even though you never really see it on TV anymore, growing up, they would play it on one of the kids' channels as I was getting older, just as when I was in like 5 to 10 years old. And just for whatever reason, I keep revisiting that every year. You can find it on YouTube for free. So All of the Other Reindeer finds a way into my 8th slot. For number 9, I have to go with the Polar Express in this case.
Oh, yeah.
Polar Express.
Tommy Hanks.
I've seen
Yes,
it so many
Tom.
times at this point that it definitely sneaks in there. Just memorable music numbers, and it's a bit dark, but it's got some cool animation and
It is dark. It is dark.
And then number 10, this one's a tough one, so I'll have to I'll throw just one out there. I might just have to, for the sake of it, go with National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation and round out the list with that. But those are my top
Why
10
not?
in mind for me, but definitely would love to hear your all's thoughts on what some of your favorites are, and just see where if any, we have some interlap in some of our favorites.
All right.
Well, you
Yes.
and me with Elf for sure. For sure. I don't have a particular order, and I certainly don't have 10. But Elf to this day, and Bob Newhart, we have to talk about Bob Newhart as his adoptive father, and wasn't that Zoe Deschanel who played his eventual girlfriend and wife?
Yes, that was
She
with
was
blonde
she was
hair.
adorable. Um, uh, uh, okay, I'm unconventional. I still love Scrooged with Bill Murray. Bill Murray being so Bill Murray. I just love Scrooged. And oh, what is his name? Well, his brother's in it, right? And so plays his father in it. And Carol Kane is wonderful, and Karen Allen. But yeah, it's another a dark Christmas holiday story. A definite takeoff on the Christmas Carol Scrooge uh, I don't know, platform idea, franchise, as it were. But yeah, I love Scrooged. And I got to say, Nightmare Before Christmas. I love Tim Burton. I guess I like the dark stuff. I just find it. I find it fascinating. I've even got 2 snow globes of 2 of the characters.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, yeah. And I follow Buddhism, so this month is holidays in both traditions. So I've got a mishmash smattering of everything. There aren't any Buddhist holiday movies, so yeah, 7 Years in Tibet, but that's that's not a holiday movie. But yeah, those 3 really stand out in my mind. John?
4. What's 4?
I like Polar Express. It is dark, and I've tried to watch it a couple of times after my first. I'll usually watch things, 10 times until I'm like, I know it well enough. After my second time, I started, I don't know, I started wanting to just put it on the shelf. But I do like it. I do like it. Well, and okay, I'll admit it. I do love Love Actually because I adored Alan Rickman so much, and Emma Thompson, and
What
Liam
movie?
Neeson was so good. Love Actually.
Love Actually.
It's an English movie. Kira Knightley. Yeah, it's what, 20 years old or
Yeah.
25 years old now, but the
Yeah.
music is fantastic. Oh, and Bill Nye, because I am so in love with Bill Nye. I can't even stand it. The man plays an aged out rock star making his comeback. And Hugh Grant playing the prime minister is just, seen video after video about the dance he does and how nervous he was to do the dance, and that he had to really get psyched up to do it, and he made it all up himself. And how many, I don't know about TikTok because I don't tick the talk, but how many videos that it has spawned of different people imitating Hugh Grant dancing as the prime minister in Love Actually. It's hilarious. And it's sad too, because Liam Neeson's wife has died and he is left with his stepson. And what are they going to do with him? Because he's pubescent and falls in love with a girl. And yeah, I love it.
Number 6.
Well, that would be 4, 5.
Oh, number 6.
I don't, I like Miracle on 34th Street, the original. I'm Again with You, 100. I'm not a, sorry, don't, no emails, please. I'm not an It's a Wonderful Life gal. I saw it the first time. I definitely cried. And then I was complete. I had seen it and been there, done that, and I was happy about it. Just not in my rotation during the holidays. And sometimes they're not blockbusters, but they're like not even Lifetime. I saw them on Netflix or whatever. I saw what was it called? Champagne Dream. It was the cutest movie, and there's no one except a French actor I absolutely adore in it. It takes place in France with an American woman, but it's called Champagne Dreams, I think, and her company wants to buy out a champagne company.
Champagne Dreams.
Yeah, I think it's called Champagne Dreams. Hold on. But yeah, I thought it was just really sweet and kind of cheesy. And um, sometimes I just like that. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Hold on. I'll get it. I'll stream through Netflix. Dun, 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 dun.
Is it the Netflix one from like this year or last year?
Yes, this year.
So Champagne Problems, I think.
Champagne Problems. Yes. Well, they had Champagne Dreams and Champagne Problems. Yeah, it's a love story. It's a little rom-com love story. And you had me at it's shot in France, first off and foremost. I don't know the reason. Maybe I was walking on the treadmill and surfing. I'm like, "Ugh, I'm not going to watch this film." And then I gave in and it was really sweet. It was really sweet. So yeah, that's it for me.
Number 8, number 9, number 10. No, there's so many out
No,
there.
don't put my feet to the fire. Hold
Oh,
on. You go. I'll listen and uh
all right.
if I have to find 10, you've got to find
I
10.
got 10. I
All
did
right.
my homework. You didn't do your homework.
I did my homework the way I wanted to do it.
Yeah,
And my
that's
homework what basically made was 4.
jeez. So
Okay.
mine
Oh,
is
wait, my French
oh,
guy. I have to say the French guy. Thibaut de Montalembert. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I love this man. He was in a series called 10%, which was Call My Agent in English. Fabulous. And he was one of the stars, and I just loved him. Okay.
I forgot about that one until you
Sorry
mentioned.
for the interrupt.
oh boy. Oh boy. uh,
I will go on. You held my feet to the fire, so I just kept talking.
Jeez. So my
Après
number
vous.
1, you guys like dark stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Christmas. It's
I
supposed
like
to be.
I like to think I had like a 50-50 split. I feel like I had some things that were dark and some things that were a little more lighthearted.
So
Champagne Problems was not dark.
my first one is Charlie Brown, Christmas.
Oh, that's a cute one. Yeah.
What are some of your like favorite aspects of the Charlie Brown one?
Just like all the movies have, for me, all the movies have very similar stories behind it. It's the magical time of Christmas. It's everybody's in their best spirit. Everybody's in their best spirit, and good things happen during these times, and it's magical. And that's how I wish things kind of were like that every day throughout the year, where we're all in this high level thing. But I think Charlie Brown brings this, just the basic, just the basic humble of what life should be. And it's simple, it's not complicated. There's gift giving. Like, for example, I was at a show called Christmas. Was it Christmas show? It was a musical, and they had all these great music, and there was a few that I didn't know of, but there was some classical ones, and it had a theme throughout the whole entire show, and one of the theme is giving, and giving was the way life was, is you give versus rather than take, and because that's what Christmas is about. It's about giving, not taking. And I think what's happening in our society is that we flipped it. We're taking rather than giving. And the shows that I like, or the movies, or the classical songs that I like, it's all about that give. That's what I wish life was more about, it for all of us. That's what I was hoping more of, that the spirit doesn't end on the 24th or 25th. It continues throughout the entire 365 days of the year. That's one of the things I always think about is, you know, we all talk about love, joy, and peace, which is predominantly mostly in December. My question is, why does that not happen every day?
It's a great question. It's one that I've wondered myself, because we get these reminders to be kind during Christmas, and then February rolls around and kind of goes out the window at that point.
Well, that's what happens with Valentine's Day. Valentine's Day ruins it. No, I mean, think about it. Like, if you think about all all the shows that we're talking about, there's a common theme in it. And one of the things that if we took it, it all talks about. There was a couple guys. Some things I was reading about. Oh, that's right. It was a video of a TikTok. This guy was on his deathbed, more or less, and he said, because time is an issue in all these movies, and one of the things he said was, "I wish I loved more. I wish I had more time to love, and not waste my time on things that didn't matter." And he's on his deathbed, obviously, saying this, and it's sad, but it rings true. But but a lot of us don't think that way because we're not in that position. We wait till the very last minute. So all these movies all have an arc of some sort of traumatic issues, and they kind of go through the challenges and the obstacles of life, and then they end up with a nice, beautiful ending. And it's just, that's where all these movies come from. And so Charlie Brown's one of those things where it has a lot of those things. And I just think it's like a life lessons that we need to know.
It's a good way of putting it. Yeah, it's a good way of putting it.
Mm-hmm.
Charlie Brown. I mean, the main theme to Charlie Brown is iconic. It gets stuck in my head every year.
Right.
It's because of its riff and just because of just how upbeat it is.
Right. Yeah. It's just a constant, it's just a nice, good feeling, show and so forth. And then I think the other one is Elfie, the Christmas Story.
Oh yeah, Christmas Story. Yeah, that I had as an honorable mention with that Ryder BB gun.
Yeah. And that one, that kind of reminds me how I was raised, I guess. With a father was, my father wasn't that, that crazy, but he was, a man's man, and, Elfie and his brother are trying to find life. And then there's bully going on. It just has all the hallmarks of what a childhood is like in the early days and you got to remember, that time no longer exists. None of our children past 2000 will ever experience what children experienced at our age, pre-1990s, I would say. Later, everybody kind of is into technology, and that's kind of booming really quickly. Everybody's in the video games and all that. But pre-1990s, I would say even earlier, children had they had to do their own things because their mothers and fathers really didn't have time to deal with them. I mean, if you think about it, they were on their own. They had to go figure it out. And, that was the best time to be a kid, I think.
There's definitely a lot of benefits to that type of life where you get to do everything in the neighborhood, hang out with everybody else, and not have to worry about all the anxiety that comes with technology. So there's something to be said about that for sure.
Right. And then Die Hard is number 3.
Yes.
Yeah, I knew we were going to have this discussion eventually.
Here we go.
And
Okay. I thought you were going to wrap it up with this, but let's get right in the thick of it.
I like it. No, I like it. I think so. To be honest, I do consider it a Christmas movie. And the reason why, I know it's not, as overt in terms of its recognition of Christmas comparative to other Christmas movies, but But ultimately, for me, a movie counts as a Christmas movie if it has some element of Christmas within it, even if it, takes place during that time. One movie that I waffle back and forth between whether I consider it a Christmas movie or not is a movie called Green Book. It has
Oh,
Viggo
yes.
Mortensen, Ali, Linda Cardinelli, Sebastian Maniscalco, a bunch of actors, and it won Academy Award for Best Picture in 2019. And the last third of the movie takes place during Christmas time. And so the question you ask is, does this count as a Christmas movie? And I count that as a Christmas movie because it does have an aspect of Christmas in it. And so if I'm going to count that as a Christmas movie, I then have to count Die Hard because it takes place during a span of Christmas. So for me, it's not necessarily about beating you over the head with something Christmas related, but as long as it's within that vicinity or time frame or acknowledges it to some extent, then I don't see why we can't watch it around that time of year.
Well, you think
Agreed.
about the movie premise is an ex-husband, right? Ex-husband visiting his wife, or his wife. Is it ex-husband? I guess I can't remember. Or is it his wife? Or
No, it's his ex-wife, I think.
His ex-wife. But he was living in one area and she lived over here, and he was going to visit the kids, and she had to go, like, somehow or another had to kind of end up at the house or end up at the office. And he, he's kind of thrown in the situation where he had no choice but to be a hero, I guess, because of his background. But even that has all the good elements of a good Christmas story, I think. That's how I look at it. It's a good film. Obviously there is some killing and stuff like that, some violence.
Nothing like a good death during Christmas, eh?
Well, bad people. Get rid of the bad people, So, yeah. So that one, that's my number 3. And then obviously Home Alone is number 4. And then
Classic.
Yeah, I'm into huge. Then the Wonderful Life is number 5. And then I like the Tim Allen one, the Santa Claus.
The Santa Claus?
Yeah.
Well, those are good.
But I've never actually watched those before.
Oh, really?
Never. Yeah, never got around to it.
And then
Interesting take on.
He also had another one where his daughter comes home, and I forgot the movie's name. Where remember they were going on vacation and all that, and then he had to come back. Dan Aykroyd is in it. Oh, what is it called?
With Tim Allen?
Yeah, Tim Allen.
I
Don't
don't know. Hold on.
Yeah.
Please.
We're gonna look that up right now. The movies, and it was a really good one. I loved it.
That's Christmas with the Cranks, I believe.
That's it. That's it.
So that's my number 8.
Oh, I love it.
It's been. I think I watched that a few years ago. I remember. Yeah, Christmas with the Cranks. It's definitely got some fun moments in it for sure.
Oh, it's hilarious. Absolutely. I think it's funny.
Well, then you've also got to like Jingle All the Way with Schwarzenegger. I'm sorry.
No, I'm not no.
Christmas with the Cranks. Come on.
Then mine is Elf. Obviously, Elf is in there. And then Polar Express is the last one.
Very nice. So we do have a little bit overlap there between the three of us, between Polar Express and Elf. And seems like Home Alone made it into my and John's as well.
Oh, I like it too, but I did come up with my last 2.
Okay. Last 3.
Then Home Alone.
Okay, so Home Alone's number 8.
8.
Well, Home Alone.
Yeah. The Holiday.
The Holiday.
Oh, yes, The Holiday. Okay.
The Holiday. And an oldie but amazing Holiday Inn with Fred Astaire and Gene Kelly and Marjorie Reynolds, where they own an inn that is only open in Connecticut, that's only open during the holidays.
So
And
the
it's
Holiday.
just
So
the
one movie's-
Holiday with Jude Law and Cameron Diaz and Jack Black and Kate Winslet. And then Holiday Inn with Bing Crosby. Sorry, Bing. Gene Kelly is it Gene Kelly? No, Fred Astaire. Sorry, Bing Crosby, Fred Astaire, and Marjorie Reynolds. You can't forget Marjorie Reynolds just because she didn't become as famous as our other two guys. Yeah, it's they're two performers, and one of them wants to get married and break up their duo, and that doesn't work out so well. So the other one decides to retire and buys this farm on in Connecticut, when you could actually buy a farm in Connecticut for less than 5 mil, and did a bunch of renovations and just decided for it to be open on the holiday. Now, caveat, some of it has not worn well in history because there is Lincoln's birthday is unfortunately in blackface.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but they're honoring freeing the slaves, but that does not everything but that. But it was made in what, the 40s, so I'm not excusing it, but we were ignorant back then. But yeah, I've heard that in some of them they've cut that holiday out. That the film has been edited to cut that scene,
Oh,
that part out, which I have absolutely no problem with whatsoever. I'd like to see that version without that. But yeah. So now that I thought
So
about that, I'm not happy with it.
so we kind of have we have some similar but totally different likes throughout the whole list of tens. And if you're listening, please, I see people are actually posting their
Chime in.
favorites.
Chime
Like
in. Oh,
Charlie-
who says what?
So let's just. Sarah said, "Love Actually has best cast." Carl
Yes.
Tam, Bad Santa. Oh, what's going
I
on?
forgot about Bad Santa.
Bad Santa.
Yeah.
Forgot about that one completely.
That's a good
That's
one.
Billy Bob Thornton. Yeah.
Billy Bob.
Yeah. So Bad Santa, and then Charlie Brown, Gray, and Jenny Lynn.
They're selling
And
Charlie
then-
Brown Christmas trees now. Somebody was telling me they went to buy their Christmas tree and they were selling this. I don't know if they made it that way or it actually ended up that way, and people are just snatching them out of the tree, from the tree vendors. They want a Charlie Brown tree.
I got to say, that's my kind of Christmas tree right there. That's
Right?
very low maintenance, easy to take care of. I like it personally. If I could
Just a
find
wooden
one
X,
area,
no
that's
watering.
my house. Yeah.
So what do you think all these movies have in common there, 100? Like these classical movies have been around for years now. So what do you think is the recipe for that?
It's a great question. The big thing that comes to mind for me is selflessness. You think about just about every one of these movies, there's some degree of selflessness that happens throughout the course of it, whether it's Klaus, where it's a true selfless act always sparks another, or Elf, where Buddy, does all of these different things to make people happy, or Charlie Brown, as we talked about earlier. Pretty much every one of these movies that I can think of, to some degree, values that aspect of kindness, selflessness, helping people out. And there's just something deeply fulfilling about watching movies that get to that crux of things, because deep down, we as individuals, we all want to connect with each other. We all want to lend a helping hand to one another when we can. And Christmas helps accentuate that. And to me, that's what really this boils down to. One of the things that I always like to say is animated movies and kindness go together like peanut butter and jelly. And really, we all want to have that deep sense of connection with others. And all of these movies help us do that. It's not, most of them are not materialistic or shallow or anything like that. They try to really bring out that essence of what makes humanity great. So for me, that's a big reason why we see a lot of these movies continue to be watched over and over again and stand that test of time.
I think it's self-discovery. I think so many of them, Elf, Scrooged, Nightmare Before Christmas, It's a Wonderful Life. I think it's a lot of the characters, it's self-discovery, getting to know who they are and what they want to do with their life, and coming to some sort of kind of revelation at the end.
Well, Carl Tame said feel good factor. All these movies
Absolutely.
contain
Yes, of
has a good,
course.
yeah.
Thanks,
Um,
Carl. Good one.
you know, also I think about, like, I keep going back to the good factor is a good one, but I also keep thinking about I guess it's about the magic. It's about all that. I think it is all it has all that. So maybe, you know, maybe that's all it's about. These movies is about making us understand. And that's what, you know, when I look throughout the years, I don't throughout the whole entire year, I don't see a lot of these good feel movies anymore. I see more of the destruction and violence and all that kind of stuff. I don't,
Blockbusters.
yeah. So has these movies, you think there's an end to these type of movies, or you think there's still a need?
It's a great question. And the big thing that sticks out to me is when a feel-good movie comes out, people seem to respond to it pretty well outside of the niche film circles, because it seems like a lot of people within movies who are critics or who kind of are very deeply involved with it within that industry seem to have a deep desire to want dark and sad movies a lot of the time. Personally, I prefer the more uplifting ones, the more joyful ones. So deep down, a lot of people really want that. But it is interesting how you have this dichotomy in a way of a lot of people who work within the industry who want the darker stuff, and then you have the consumers who want the lighter stuff. And so there's something's got to give eventually. And we're starting to see a few more positive movies come out, but it's fascinating because, to your point, John, it seems like they're fewer and further between, and people seem to want to try and outdo themselves on the shock value and the darkness when it comes to
Yeah. Oh,
So
yeah.
you think the reality moment of life, because we've, for the last 25 years, we've been living in this reality world where, or maybe longer than that, I think almost 35 years since the MTV World, whatever it's called, where they did the houses. I can't remember what it's called. But
Oh, MTV started in 1981.
no, but they had a series where the reality people would go to the
Oh,
house
yeah.
called World something. Is that right?
Yes. Oh, yep. Hold on.
World
Hold,
World, or
please.
World
The
Real.
Real World.
Yeah.
The Real World. Yes, 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 yes,
So
yes. And
that's
they
going
started
on
getting
to,
away from the music aspect,
right. So
which,
that's
by
how
the way, MTV ends on December 31st of this year.
it
44 years
ends.
gone, gone. 44 years and it's gone.
Wow.
First
Because
video killed the radio star by the Buggles, and it's all gone.
wow.
Sorry, I didn't mean to be a bummer.
Wow.
Yeah, I
Crazy how
mean, times they are changing. They really, really are. And people are making their music videos now. And the TikTok generation, the X generation, the Instagram generation, where it's been a part of your life since birth practically. People are making all of their own. They're creating all of their own. And I guess MTV sees that their agenda isn't really something that's in demand anymore. I guess that's my presumption. I could be incredibly wrong. It could have gotten very expensive to do, but I am going to default to the latter. Viewership.
Yeah, there's definitely a market shift on MTV. I'd love to read more about this just to figure out what happened, because as you all mentioned, it was the pinnacle of a lot of cultural elements for decades. And then the last 5 or 6 years, it seems like it was just a channel to play reruns of the show Ridiculousness. I never really saw anything else
Oh my
play on
gosh,
it.
you're right. You're right.
It seemed like that's all they were doing the past 7 or 8 years. And you wonder why they went down that path, or why they decided, not to continue making a lot of new content or innovating. And it's going to be a fascinating case study for people going forward as to how it is that they fell apart. But But yeah, MTV definitely changed a lot of things over the course of its lifespan. So whether you consider that for better or for worse, it definitely had its impact, but it's run its course in terms of its ability to appeal to people.
Well,
Well,
Gray
and
said,
ridiculousness is basically watching people in videos crash and burn. I mean, that's basically all it was, and people love that, but it wasn't enough to keep the network or the channel going.
well, Gray said they're signing their own record deals and making their own music videos. It's different. I think for the better. That's what she says. So, and she's into music. From what I can
Where do we
tell.
get to see the videos now other than on YouTube and TikTok
Well,
and
actually, you know
Instagram?
what? YouTube, I mean, no, TikTok, there is bands on there actually releasing new songs. And what they're doing is they're doing shortcuts of these videos and they're playing them over and over again. And they're doing several times and they're playing. And there was two bands and they're good songs. I was like, wow, this is pretty cool. And they kept playing them over and over again. And I guess they keep posting similar lyrics to it, but also keep posting, and that's where they're getting their viewerships.
Mm,
That's the click, so when you can do a
mm.
30-second video or a minute video, you're getting content, eyes on it. But I'm also told that that type of industry or that type of consumption is dying as well. It's not as lucrative it used to be. So like TikTok is actually changing a little bit, YouTube is changing, even Twitter. I think and even podcasts in general has declined or starting to decline based on the subject matter you're talking about. So it all depends what you're
Mm.
doing. So like you're seeing declines in ad revenue and viewership as well in certain things. And it's just it I mean, MTV is a prime example of what's going to happen to a lot of TV shows that we used to get familiar with. I mean, I think where it comes down to is I think, and this is my opinion, where the wholesomeness, like people are hungry for good things. You got to remember 25 years, 60, 30 plus years of just repetitively, violent anger, especially a society today where it's a lot of polarization going on. People see that in their day-to-day life. They're getting tired of it. It's getting exhausting and they want something new. They want something different, and having uh, having good content that is wholesome and reliable and it's easy to apply to your life. I think that's why these movies in the Christmas stories are easy to apply to your life if you choose to. And I think that's what people are missing. And I think the shock and awe is kind of dying. That's, the
Yeah.
shock jocks, all those type of people are kind of dying.
Well, that's a good question to pass over to 100 because you are the movie professional. You see so much out there, current. I don't know. You go to independent film festivals too, not just the bigs. Like I know you go to TIFF. I mean, it's International Film Festival, but any of the independent film festivals where you've got indies or low budget or ultra low budget or things like that, not just blockbusters, because people are still watching the blockbusters. They're going back to the theater to see the blockbusters. They're getting memberships to these cinemas. So, but I guess it's what the market will bear. But what's your take on that?
I'd have to think about this one a little bit more because it does seem like the best way I can look at it from an indie perspective, it's hard to gauge just because there's so many indie films going on all the time. A lot of them like to be kind of artistic and dark, and then you have some that try to be a little bit more uplifting, and it really, it's a little all over the place in that regard. But what's fascinating to me is I'm sitting here thinking about, the last 6 or 7 years of the Academy Awards, for example, the Best Picture winners specifically. And as I think back and look at all of them, at least for the last 6 or 7 years, there's only really 2 or 3 that I consider happy in terms of its ending or happy in nature. Most of them can be quite depressing. And so to John's point, you know, there is a market for it. And the best example I can give to illustrate this is, I don't know if the two of you are consumers at all of Hallmark Christmas movies or things on the Hallmark Channel, but really that has been outpacing a lot of stuff in terms of viewership, in terms of earnings, in terms of success. And to that point, it's because there is that market of people trying to find those more uplifting components. Personally, I can't really get into the Hallmark stuff just because I don't know. It's a little too cheesy for me, but there is a market for it. And so there are people that are looking for uplifting things.
It's for women. That's what it is.
Yeah, I can't do it.
No, I don't disagree. I'm not a big Hallmark person either. I mean, my cheesy film Champagne Problems was on Netflix, but I can't say it was just cute. Anyway, yeah, I hear what you're saying though about and Lifetime. I mean, Lifetime puts out a lot of those feel good, formulaic in terms of their writing. You know, the story begins and the meeting, and then the evolution, and then the conflict, and then the resolution. It's quite formulaic and very inexpensive to make. They're not paying top dollars on Hallmark or on Lifetime. Sorry, it's true. I know this, for their films being made, but people love them, and they're there for a reason. And Hallmark and Lifetime aren't going away.
So JC, I hope I say that right. Maybe people just seek quality content and not clickbait.
Oh, that's a good point.
There's definitely
sensationalism.
There's definitely a market for quality content. People seem to be clamoring for that because just over time, we've seen a decline in quality, and you hear about that complaint all the time. And so there's definitely a huge market for it. So yeah, if there is good quality content, hopefully, you know, people are drawn to that. But and a big thing about these Christmas movies too is the ones we've listed are all pretty good movies. Like, they're just fun to watch, and you know, they do create some memorable moments, and that's what a great movie is all about. So
yeah, true.
So I mean, we're going to bring you back on. I think we were talking about this a couple of weeks ago about bringing you back on when I mean, the Academies are coming up, like the Globes, all that's coming up. Which one are you looking? Which one are you more interested in knowing? Is there one particular coming up that you're going to be like must watch?
In terms of the award shows?
Yes. Yeah.
The big one for me is always the Academy Awards. So that's always the big show for me. So we could either do one kind of leading into that, where I can tell you my predictions, and you can see if I know what I'm talking about, or if I have absolutely no clue, and call me out on it.
I seriously doubt that.
After, and I can sound really intelligent about a bunch of things. So
yeah, we could do something together.
Which if you all are, you know, either one works for me.
Yeah, I love doing a predictions, you know, getting an Oscar list and watching as much as we can. And then we could each, just like we had our favorite holiday movies, then we are, you know, do the big, you know, best actor, best female actor, best male actor, best picture, you know, whatever. We could do 10 of that 10 category in our predictions. Or we could just let you do it all, so we don't embarrass ourselves.
But we have 3 shows. We got 3 Academy Awards coming up, right? Or is it just 2?
So the Academy Awards itself, the biggest ceremony, I believe, is on. 1 second, I know it's in March.
Okay.
Yes.
It's in March. It's usually like early March is usually when it is. This year it's Sunday, March 15th.
What's going on in January? Is it January?
January is the Golden Globes.
Globes.
It's like the Oscar, the Academy Awards. It's like their drunk cousin. So, you know, that's the best way to describe it.
And it used to be Foreign Press, right? That was by the Foreign Press.
Yeah,
they don't do that
Foreign
anymore.
Press Association. So that's the Golden Globes. And then leading into the Academy Awards, you have the Directors Guild, the Writers Guild, you have the BAFTAs, you have the the Actors Guild, SAG Awards. So they have all kinds of precursors leading into it. But the big show is Sunday, March 15th. And so I actually host a competitive Academy Awards pool, so I can send you the link to that for both of
I
you.
love it.
And the winner, it's free to join, and the winner gets $100. So,
Oh,
so if you
I
want
wonder
to
why.
compete in that, and then we can all meet up on Monday for potential bragging rights, that could be potential. That could
No,
be.
that's funny.
That's funny. And then after that, after the Globes, what's the next one over? Isn't there another one? The Oscars? Is it the Oscars?
No, the Oscars are March 15th, but well, and then you've got, Grammys, Emmys, Tonys, like he said, BAFTA. To me, that's a really important one, the British Association. And SAG Awards, Screen Actors Guild Awards, but I guess it needs to be called SAG-AFTRA Awards now. But I think, yeah, because they look at television too. So there are just so many award ceremonies,
there's no
award
shortage.
shows. I can't keep up with them anymore.
Yeah, there's no shortage. So I just kind of pick one and lock in. And for me, it's the Academy Awards for film. I know there's the Grammys and the Emmys and all of those, but I don't usually
Emmys,
go around
that's it.
watching. Yeah, I don't.
Yeah,
usually
Emmys is television, Grammys is music. Yeah, and like you said, the Globes is just a big free-for-all party.
I was just referred to as the friendly bad Santa.
Said that. I love you. You're hilarious.
we were talking
I
about
just need a cigarette in my mouth.
we were talking about
A cigar.
on the matter of Christmas movies as well. Something that hit me is we had a lot of overlap, but amongst the three of us, we had a lot of collective snubs that I thought were really interesting. So obviously,
yeah.
all three of us were not big on the Hallmark Christmas stuff. It seems like we're all in universal agreement there. But something fascinatingly enough is I was looking at some numbers in terms of viewership, because we were talking about whether people want positive content or not, or just cheesy content, whatever it is. But the craziest thing to me is that one of the most watched pieces of content on Netflix last year was a movie called Hot Frosty. Like it's just so bizarre how like certain things make it and other things don't. And so if you don't like I saw the trailer for that and I was like, this has to be the cheesiest thing I've ever seen in my life. But it got 15 million views within the first month of its release on Netflix.
Well, the title does nothing for me. I mean, okay, he melted. The end.
So what's your Christmas looks like there, 100? What's going on the next couple of weeks?
Yeah, so bit of everything for me. So I'm just trying to kind of catch up on all of the Academy Award contenders. So I have some reviews coming out for the movie Sentimental Value, Hamnet.
Oh yeah.
There's
Hamnet.
a few others that are coming out this month. Marty Supreme. So there's like at least 6 or 7 movies I got to get caught up on. I've seen some of them, just haven't had a chance to write them out. And then just personal wise, I'll be heading to Cancun next week, and then celebrating with family in Toronto for about 10 days. So
now,
Yay,
are you from
Toronto.
Canada? You're not from Canada, are you?
it's
He
where
has to
where
be.
my family lives. I'm from the U.S. though.
Oh,
But-
okay.
He said
Yeah.
Toronto. He didn't say Toronto. So he's been well trained.
Well,
heard
yeah, that's
somebody
why I was
say
like,
Tor-
you must be Canadian if you can pronounce that correctly.
Yeah, so it's so I'll be watching all the Christmas classics with my family when I'm back. We'll be definitely sure to catch some of the movies that you all had on your list, along with some of them on my list. And our big tradition for Christmas is lobster on Christmas Eve, and then
Ooh, that
so-
works.
But I'm curious what you all have in terms of big Christmas plans.
Well,
Well,
this is pretty simple.
Today is actually Bodhi Day, which is a celebration of the Buddha's birth, death, and enlightenment. So that's why I have a bamboo tree that has
Oh, very
lights on it, and I talk about it all the time. But Buddhism and the trees predate Christianity, and what they did was they put candles on a tree or a bush or whatever, and that designates the levels of enlightenment. So that started today, but I'm going out with family on Christmas Day. I have a mixture of family, my son, his girlfriend, her mom, my husband, me. We're all going out to eat, and I love lights. I would keep lights up. As a matter of fact, I decided my new bamboo that I got for the holidays, when my poor sister-in-law was going to visit, she came down for the first time with COVID, and now she can't make it. I can't believe, I just can't believe it. But I'd gotten this great tree and more decorations because I wanted her to feel really at home. So now I've decided that little bamboo tree will stay up with lights on it all year round. And yeah, I like music. I like to see how other people decorate the front of their house. And honestly, I agree with John 1,000,000%. And I've said it so many times about keeping peace and love and joy in your heart all year round, and how it kind of fades after, the end of January. And then for me, when I try to, and I do my best to keep it in my heart, and sometimes people give me crap about it. Why are you so happy and loving and kind and so nice to people? And
Yeah, why?
why not? Why the heck not? I mean, uh, does anybody want me to talk about anything that's going on in my life that is not perfect? No, everybody's got their own problems, and I don't need to go around saying, oh, this and oh, that. I had a friend, we had gone out to see a show, and we went to pick up the tickets, and it was in her name, but the woman in the box office spelled her name wrong, and she had a bloody fit. And I said, I don't understand. You got so angry. You didn't spell your name out for her. She wrote it out best she could. Now you've gotten mad at her, then she's going to go home and maybe kick the dog, and you don't know what she's dealing with. And I'm kind of like, can the buck stop here? And I don't care if you make fun of me for loving people and being kind and trying to keep that spirit all year round. And you know what? I'm going to keep doing it. I don't care what anybody has to say about it. So there.
Right on. So JC said, this is one thing, 100, Landman. This is like a hit show.
Billy
Like,
Bob Thornton.
oh yeah, that's a good
Yeah, that's
show.
been taken off.
That's probably his best acting, I think, by far. He is so like, yeah, it's
He's
wow.
done so much good work. Oh my gosh.
Well, he has a crazy ex-wife per se, and his daughter is kind of like emulating his wife. His son is kind of like following his foot like so many good storylines in that show. I think it
Oh, Demi
outshines-
Moore is in that.
yeah, I think
And
it outshines was it
Yellowstone?
Yellowstone, yeah.
Really?
Mm. Yeah, I think
Wow.
so.
Wow. Okay.
I don't know,
Yeah,
100, what do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot to like about Landman for sure, and it's been taken the streaming world by storm as of late, and so definitely a lot to enjoy about that series.
Well, so JC wants Billy Bob to win an award. If not, they're throwing a fit.
I'll have to.
Well, I don't know how much good that would do, but
today,
yeah.
I know the Globe nominations came out today. I'm curious if Billy Bob Thornton got a nomination for that. I'll have to.
Let's see.
I only looked at the movie nominations for that today. So.
Oh wow! Wait a minute. JC says he's a former oil business, and I work with Lenman. So
Wow.
Yeah.
So that tells you something too. It's always a good reflection.
Okay. Let's see.
Pretty real. I mean, I worked on oil fields in northern BC, but I mean that was just I didn't do what they did, but it's pretty that's a tough life. It's not a fun life. No, you're isolated with guys, waking up, going to work. It's not fun. Oh, he's gone.
Oh boy. So the best television series drama, The White Lotus, Adolescence, Only Murders in the Building, Severance, The Diplomat, Pluribus, and Slow Horses. Now hold on. But this series was just recently released, and we lost him.
Yep. I was trying to say that.
Chihuahua.
I didn't want
Well, the series was just released, and unfortunately, things that are released towards the end of a year, although Pluribus was released relatively early, I've been watching that. They don't get as much recognition as as the stuff that's released earlier in the year. Let me see if Billy Bob. No, Billy Bob's not nominated. Brian Cox, Kieran Culkin, Pedro Pascal, and Steve Carell. No Landman. I'm so sorry. Maybe next year.
There's always the Emmys. Always the Emmys.
There's always the Emmys. See, that's why we love you so much. You think of everything.
Well, I'm going to, so you got coming up any writing, anything to look forward to your Substack? What's going on in your Substack? Anything you're going to be posting here shortly?
Reviews.
Yeah, a little bit coming up. So there are a few things on the horizon. The first one is hoping to get the first one is an interview with a film composer that I was able to have last week. I'm hoping to publish that sometime this week. It's with a man named Greg Nicolette. He did some work on a kids film called The Sneetches. It's based off of a Dr. Seuss book. He also did some video game composition, and his newest work is a horror film that stars a few kind of interesting actors, Dermot Mulroney being one of them. And so he has an interesting swath of life experiences and a deep understanding of the technical process behind film composition. So I'll be publishing that sooner rather than later. And then from a reviews perspective, my hope is that I can get at least 4 or 5 reviews out this month of Sentimental Value, Marty Supreme, Hamnet, and then just 2 others that I haven't quite determined yet. Jay Kelly might be another one. That's with George.
Oh, just saw it.
What'd you think? I haven't seen it yet.
Not telling. You have to see it first, then we'll commiserate.
Okay.
Rental Family. I'm dying to see Brendan Fraser in Rental Family.
Yes, I saw that a little bit ago with me and my girlfriend, and we both enjoyed it. It's a little got a slight cheese factor to it, but it's really enjoyable, really sentimental, really feel good. So I enjoyed Rental Family.
We see Brendan, because of all the Mummy movies, as being this action hero, and the Mummy is coming. Is it the Mummy coming back? Yes,
that's right.
Rachel Weisz and Brendan are doing another Mummy. Rachel is back, but Brendan is this really, I don't want to say nerdy, but his action hero self seems like an alter ego, because he's really he appears to be sensitive, and I mean, he's Canadian, kind, very, very communicative and compassionate in the way he speaks to other people. A young girl interviewed him, and she was actually in the film with him, and she was so sweet. So I can't wait to see that one. And and if there's a cheese factor, I don't care. Brendan can do no wrong. Plus, here in Orlando, he is doing one of the Disney Christmas evenings, special evenings here. I couldn't get a ticket, so but yeah.
It's too bad, but he does an excellent job in that movie. So
good.
Enjoy his performance.
Good.
So 100 and Kaz, is there anybody on Substack that you found that you want to give them a shout out, and why you're giving them a shout out?
Well, let's do our guest first, because I do.
All right. Yeah, that's a great question. So obviously I always try to give the 2 of you a shout out whenever I can. Always have great content. Love reading all of your all's work. One of the Substacks that's been just really fun to read over the last few months, or since my time of being on this platform. It's called the Lizard Lounge. And so I want to give the Lizard Lounge a shout out. Just kind of a fun little breakdown of the stuff that she's watched over the course of the past, week.
Yes.
Just kind of posts every once in a while. And it's a fun channel with just a good insight on just different things that they've been paying attention to. So that's who I'd like to give my shout out to.
Kaz.
Colin Ellis coming, and what I do is, if they're not watching, when I repost this or restack this, I always tag them to make sure they know that I've been giving them a shout out. VS Uma, I mean, every week we're talking about her and Gray, and our previous guest, Jennifer Haddock. I actually restacked a beautiful thing that she said, to have a kind of a troll say something completely obnoxious, and so I blocked him. And um, Monk Mode Society. These guys are incredible. They're so compassionate, but they're also really entertaining. The Weight of Almost, some really visceral content, and the new Unhinged, because I love me the new Unhinged. I absolutely just love this. I love me some Edgar Allan Poe-esque looks at life. So that's my shout outs.
So my shout out for the week is Gino Cosme. Now
Oh yeah.
he is UK and Europe based. But what I love about he's a therapist on Substack, and one of the things I love about him is that he really talks about what it means to be about gay and all this theory about coming out and all that. He really refutes that, and he talks about being genuine and authentic as a person and not trying to live this stereotype of whatever you're trying to do. Just be you. And he and I have been just an awesome person overall. So just some of the things, like he says, the biggest lie we are sold is that coming out is the finish line. It's actually the starting pistol for decades of internal negotiations. You don't unlearn a lifetime of hiding in one brave weekend. Your work is to be kind, to be part of you still checking the exist. Your work is to be kind to the part of you still checking the checking the exit. Sorry.
Oh,
Uh,
checking the exits.
yeah, checking the exits. So yeah, that was pretty. I mean, if you're following him, please go ahead. You'll be. I think you'd be impressed by his work and his articles and stuff like that. So that's my shout out for the week. Yeah.
Well, this has been a blast as always. Can't wait for Oscar season.
So, 100, I wish you and your family a Merry Christmas. And for our listeners and people who are watching, we do have another show coming up next week. Tracy Edwards is coming on. And then we have our finale for the season ending, which will be, then we'll go into hiatus for 2 weeks. In the meantime, we want to say thank you, everyone, for joining. We appreciate you coming on. Each of
Yes.
these episodes have become it changes. I don't know. It kind of like it's starting to become like every Monday at 4:00 is our thing in Eastern time. So
Mm-hmm.
hopefully it becomes your thing as well. And 100, thank you for coming on. We'll see you next year. Hope you and your family have a wonderful Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And don't eat
And
too
let
much
me say,
popcorn.
happy whatever you
Yeah.
celebrate, happy whatever you
Yeah.
celebrate, and celebrate what makes you happy.
Yeah, I like that a lot. And it's always a pleasure talking with both you and Kaz, John, and Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays to everybody. I'm super looking forward to the new year and being able to chat with you all and keep in correspondence. And as I always say, every day I get to talk about movies is a great day. And we certainly ran the gauntlet of all the great Christmas classics over the years. So it's been an absolute pleasure. And I appreciate you all having me on your show.
Oh, we
And for
love
all that are
having
in the
you.
chat, thank you for chatting. Appreciate you guys doing this. And we'll catch you
Yes,
next
thank
week
you,
at 4
everyone.
o'clock.
Yep. Thank you, guys. Thanks, everybody. See ya.
Thanks for listening to Stories, Soulwork, and Substack. We're so glad you're here. If today's story made you think, smile, or feel something, share it with someone who needs a little light. You can find us anywhere you love to listen on YouTube, Rumble, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and other streaming platforms. And don't forget to subscribe to Kaz and John's Substack for updates, behind-the-scene notes, and upcoming guests. Keep writing your truth, keep doing your soul work, and remember, your story matters.